like to welcome you back to the Void of Thought. I'm trying something a little bit different in that I don't really have much time throughout the day to just sit down at home and dedicate time to make a video. So I decided to do my best to make some time outside, outdoors, in nature instead. So I'm on this beautiful hike right now. And yeah, I'm just going to speak from my heart because I got back from Ireland recently for a professional basketball tryout. And it was a very, shall I say, polarizing experience that was extremely challenging, but also extremely enlightening and beautiful at the same time. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as I hike. So yeah, stick with me. Much love to you. Just love running water. So yes, Ireland was extremely beautiful. It was pretty much the opposite of here, sunny California. It was cloudy, had pockets of sunshine here and there, but it was raining sometimes. And being from Southern California, I just really love the variety that the clouds, seeing the clouds move in the sky and everything. It was just so gorgeous, so beautiful. Just sitting there for hours watching the clouds roll by. Just active meditation for me, really. Running water, bees flying everywhere. I'm seeing yellow jackets too. Such a beautiful little area down here. So yeah, the weather was very much appreciated, really. But I am grateful for the California sunshine. Like, all the time it's here. So like, as you see today, like there's not a cloud in the sky. But I've come to really appreciate the variety that Ireland provided as far as the weather goes. Because just being in this climate all the time, it's definitely not a bad thing. It's a great thing. But as much as I practice gratitude, as much as I practice, just staying grateful in every moment, going to another place like that where it feels otherworldly to be in that type of weather, it was just like so eye-opening to say that it's like this earth provides so much variety, so much diversity, and it's just so beautiful, and I want to explore it all. I want to experience it all. And being here, being in Southern California pretty much my entire life, never living out of state or anything, it just really put into perspective how much I've really hit my limit as far as growing goes here. So I feel like while I'm here, I feel like I'm just like this plant that's been in the same pot for year after year after year, and I have a yearning and soul craving to grow and expand beyond this pot. But it's been a challenge just getting out of the pot and getting into something new, something fresh. But on a soul level, that's what I really crave. So I'm grateful to be here, but at the same time, I really do miss being in Ireland right now. I was there for 2 weeks, and I was there, attending a basketball camp, a training camp. And that was a pretty good experience. It was one of the toughest things that I've ever done, especially since I wasn't in shape going into it. Strength-wise, I was there, but conditioning level was not there at all. And we did a whole lot of running throughout, the entire four days we were playing and practicing. We did a whole lot of running, 3 days. So workout in the morning, and then practice, a lot of running, and then come back for practice again, a lot of running, and then played a scrimmage after that. And then on game days, did the same thing. Besides the very last day, we actually finally had a break, a rest, but on the last day I twisted my ankle in the game. So I played good in the first game, but the second game, twisted my ankle, didn't get to play at full strength, and it was a challenge. And that was the theme of the whole basketball experience there, is a challenge. And it's nothing that's new to me, but you know, on a professional level, I thought it was going to be a little bit different. But I think I'll talk about that in another video where I just talk specifically about that, maybe on my other channel, Athletic Self Mastery. But yes, I'm very grateful for my experience there because it's really opened my eyes. So if you've never traveled, for one, outside of your state, but also especially outside of the country, being from the United States, you are really missing out on a whole lot. Like, I just visited Ireland so far, and I already want to explore. Like, I've already been wanting to explore the entire world, but finally having that first experience, it does something to you, because it really makes you see how much is really out there, how much you're missing out on by just staying in the same spot your whole life. And being able to travel is such a gift. It's like, one thing that it reminded me of, what made me think of really, is just like how much more difficult it was to travel, say like even just like 40-50 years ago, when my parents were growing up. So much more, like racial prejudice and everything, just racism in general. And being that we've seemingly come a long way since then, like, I can imagine how much more difficult it could have been to travel just back then compared to what it is now. So I'm very grateful for how far we've come as a people, how much the world has grown and evolved since those times. And I know that it still goes on, of course, a bunch today. But just sharing gratitude for all my ancestors and all the elders who have paved the way for me to be able to leave this country, leave and come back as I please. Of course, as long as you have money, but that's what I'm working on right now, so that I can really just travel the world and share my knowledge, share my teachings, kind of like a nomadic teacher, per se, a walking guide. So that's what I see for myself. Of course, playing basketball, but no matter what, it's in my soul to just travel as much as I can. So that's one of my main focuses in life right now, be able to travel, get out and explore the world, and see how much more growth I have to do. Because like I mentioned earlier, feeling like I'm stuck in the same pot, trying to grow out of it, but not really being able to just break out of it. I know I have so much more growing to do, so much more self-discovery to do, and I plan on doing that. Like, I have nothing holding me back. So that's partially one of the reasons why I'm making this video, is because I know that my soul is craving to travel, and I've been asking myself, how can I do that in the best way, in the most harmonious way for me? How can I fulfill my soul purpose of traveling? Well, my purpose isn't to travel, but to teach and share what I know about self-mastery, about spirituality. And how can I do that in a way that allows me to be fully free and really fulfill what feels good for me, what feels right for me in my soul and my spirit? And one thing that kept coming to me was just, pick up the phone, pick up the camera, and record myself. Just talk, share. Because recently, I think it was actually before I went to Ireland, but recently I had a dream where I was at one of the local colleges, sitting on the basketball court. I was sitting in the middle of the court underneath one of the baskets, and this college has two big bleachers right next to the court. So it's not a stadium, it's a stadium, but it's not like a circular bowl, it's not like an arena style. It's more of like bleachers are on either side of the court, on both sides of the court, and I was sitting in the middle of it, and I was feeling some resistance, just talking, speaking up, and feeling that resistance. I really felt into it, and I could feel that I was being called to share, to talk, just to share, express what's on my heart, really open my throat chakra and just talk, just speak, be the guy, be what I know that I am, but I've been hiding and not really running from, but just hiding and suppressing for all these years. So I've been trying to break out of it in recent years, but it's been a challenge, to say the least. It's been a challenge. So continuing with the dream, as soon as I started talking and speaking, I just let my heart speak. I just let whatever was on my heart known, similar to what I'm doing right now. I just let myself speak and just be heard, because there's other people there, like some of my family members, my sister, my mother. I think my father may have been there too, and some other people that I'm familiar with, but not really knowing like that. We're not like friends, but more so people that I just see around, you know. But, you know, the people were there, and I began to just speak and take everyone through a guided meditation. And I forgot exactly what I was saying, but I just remember speaking, and it was kind of like one of those moments where, like, in the dream, like, I blacked out, and I just, like, time just seemingly, like, skipped forward. So after I came out of that, like, little mini blackout, I know I was speaking during that time, and as I finished speaking, the court raised to like the highest level. Like, I was sitting on the court, but all just raised up. Instead of like the bleachers going up beside me, I was on the same level as the top of the bleachers. And so it was like the basketball court became a stage for me to speak on. I was just sitting there, legs crossed, sitting there, like, you know, lotus position, and just sitting there and speaking, and just realizing that my voice is here not only to uplift myself, but also to uplift those around me. And an artist who I met, a really dope conscious MC, Illuminati Congo, he was there, and he was basically giving me the confirmation that, like, yeah, this is what you need to be doing. This is you. This is your purpose, at least for right now. So being that it's your purpose, do it. Go for it. Full force. Do it. And so since that dream, it's really been on my mind heavy and on my heart heavy to just start speaking, you know, sharing my knowledge, because what is my knowledge worth if I don't share it with other people? You know, sharing it with other people is what allows not only myself, but others and the entire world to grow and evolve. There's, you know, been so many people in the world who maybe they had like some really dope invention, but it never saw the light of day until years later. And then, say, like, for example, like if Nikola Tesla never published any of his inventions, he just kept them all to himself. Imagine how much more difficult it would have been for him to, for one, create those inventions, bring those things into reality from his mind, into physical matter, physical reality. There would have been resistance there. Tons of challenges there. And imagine if he never, you know, brought those inventions to physical reality, how much the world would have been missing out on. Whether it's, you know, one man like Nikola Tesla or multiple people around the world not sharing their inventions, or not sharing their realizations, not sharing their knowledge, their wisdom, how much more behind we are because of that. And so that's been weighing on my heart heavy, because I know that I've been holding out on my knowledge, holding out on my wisdom, holding out on sharing and helping those around me. And even though like some of my past YouTube videos have gotten great, you know, they've helped people a lot. I've got, you know, great reviews from and everything, great comments, great feedback. But going back to, you know, talking about Ireland, when I got back from Ireland, it just put everything into perspective of why it's been so difficult for me to just break free and, you know, finally just share and be my full self, be fully embodied here in the now, in the present moment, regardless of location. Because it has been difficult, and it just feels like there's an energetic barrier up around me. Because, like, remember when I landed coming back from Ireland, when I landed on the plane, I just immediately felt this density, this denseness just surrounding me. And I couldn't really escape it. I couldn't, you know, think it away, believe it away, pray it away. Like, it was just there. And it just feels like this heavy, dense, like, barrier around me that's keeping me locked inside, and also keeping me relatively disconnected from the outside world, what's going on around me. So I've felt that, like, I know I've always felt it. Being here, living here and everything, I've always felt it, because I've always, like, been saying, like, if you're one of my close friends, you know that I've been saying, like, I want to get out of here, I want to move away, I want to travel for an extended period of time and just really discover myself. I've been saying that for years now, and to finally see how much like it's been put in perspective after getting back from another country, being away from here for 2 weeks. And that trip was so refreshing and so rejuvenating, but at the same time, again, put in perspective how much I've been shut down by staying here, by living here. And whether that's a result of me or a result of literally this area, but I feel and believe wholeheartedly that I feel that way because in my soul, this place isn't in resonance with me anymore. In my soul, what's in resonance with me is traveling to different countries. Right now, Europe specifically. So like my last name on my father's side and my mother's last name on her side, they both originate from the Ireland and Scotland area. So I looked it up and everything, and they both originate from those areas. And it's no coincidence that my first time out of the country was to Ireland. Like there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence there. So I know there's something more there for me to discover and to explore. And being that I felt so much more free, I felt like the whole world just opened up for me over there. Like I felt so free. I felt my throat chakra just activating a lot more. Even though I wasn't really like talking to a lot of people and everything, I just felt so much more free. Like my heart felt so much more open. My mind felt so much more expansive. I was able to finally get some good rest because I haven't, besides that 2-week trip, when I stayed in the Airbnb for like 4 days. Those 4 days were some of the best nights of sleep that I've had in the past like 4 years. And so that just, again, that put in perspective how much disresonance, if the word is correct, I'm not even sure if that's a word, but how much out of alignment I feel while I'm here, just for one in Southern California, but also too just in the United States in general. Like I don't want to be here, and this isn't like a political thing or anything. This isn't me, like bashing Democrats, Republican, or anything, like nothing like that. It's just whatever is going on in this land right now, whatever the collective consciousness of this land is right now, I should say on this land, by the people on this land, whatever it is right now, I'm just not in resonance with it. My soul is telling me, yo, travel, go explore, go be free. Like it's telling me, and I'm just like, I just have to obey it and trust it. Listen, obey, trust it, and move forward in faith. That's all I have to do. And again, that's why I'm recording this video right now. Because like the past few days, I don't want to claim that I am depressed, but I've felt extremely depressed, honestly. Like just being back here, being back in a place that I don't want to be, and also I don't feel is in resonance with me. I don't feel like is really supporting of me right now. Even though I know it is. I know this place has a whole lot to offer, but I just don't feel like there's much for me here right now in this present moment, in this time period. Like, again, just put it all in perspective for me to follow my calling no matter what. Because in the past, there's been, a lot of times that like I've manifested something, or I've been trying to manifest something, but I would sabotage myself and self-sabotage by, overthinking it, doing things that weren't in alignment because I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do, stuff like that, where I was just getting in my own head too much and stopping myself from actually making progress with whatever it was that I was supposed to make progress with. Like, for example, this trip to Ireland, like the way that it came about was I have been wanting to sell my car or trade it in, just get a new car for years now, because it's, driving it was hurting my back. It was, it was just hurting me, slowing me down physically, because whenever I would work out, I have to be, more cognizant of, my back hurts, so I have to take it a little bit lighter. I have to modify this exercise. Couldn't jump as high as I wanted to, because if I did, it might, I might strain something in my back, like all that stuff. It was holding me back. So I've been wanting to sell the car, trade it in for years. And it happened to where a close family member or not a family member, I'm sorry, a family friend of ours, her father unfortunately passed away. And he had, an old car that he used to drive all the time, haven't been driven for years. It was just, sitting there in the garage, just collecting dust. And she wanted to sell it, or at first she just wanted to give it away, but since, we offered to buy it, we just settled on a price of just $500 for a really great car. And I'm very grateful for it, because that allowed me to sell my old car that was hurting my back and everything. And I sold it for just enough money to pay for the trip to Ireland. Book the ticket, get the plane ticket, get my passport, because I didn't have a passport before that. So I got my passport, plane ticket, paid for the actual event, the basketball event. And then that, it was settled. I'm going to Ireland. So, and it was on the table for a while, but I just never really fully committed to it, because again, I was sabotaging myself. I didn't believe I don't have the money for that right now. I don't even have a passport. Plane ticket's probably gonna be $700, something like that, whatever it was. But one day I just decided I'm 29 years old. I've never been outside the country. I want to explore. I want to play professional basketball, and I have an opportunity to take a shot at it right now. So why not? It's there. Everything can align, and I believe that it would align. I was grateful in advance for it aligning. And so what ended up happening was it perfectly aligned. I was able to sell my car for the money that I needed to take the trip. I did it. Boom, got my passport. Boom, got the plane ticket. Boom, and now I'm going to Ireland. So I went, and I talked about it a little bit so far, but now it just really put into perspective and really provided a lot of clarity on what my purpose is right now. Because I know that my purpose is more than just traveling. I know that it's building something that'll last for generations. I don't want to speak on it on video just yet, but I know it is. I have the vision for it right now. And it is something that won't be just, in the United States. It'll be something that's pretty much worldwide. So working on that, having that vision for myself, instead of trying to, figure out every single step of the way, figure out this next step and the next step, logically thinking about it, instead of doing that, I see the vision. Now, since I see it, I know that it's embedded in my soul. I know that it's possible. If I can see it, I can do it. If I can do it, then I'm gonna do it. But being that I've been able to see it for the past few years in my mind, I know if the vision is there, the way is possible. The trail will lead me there. All I got to do is just trust it, trust my intuition, listen to my intuition. And this is when the divine feminine comes in. Because instead of, being overly masculine and trying to plan out every single step, instead of doing that, set the course or set the destination in my GPS, and then my intuition, let it be the guide. My intuition will guide me to the destination. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've been in a really heavy funk lately since I've got back from Ireland, because it was literally just another world over there. I felt so much more alive. Here, I that sinking feeling, that dense feeling was just all around me. I felt like I was just trapped here. But I know I'm not trapped. I know that resistance is there for a reason. It's there to help me get stronger. So again, just trusting my intuition. This is part of it. This video is part of it. And this is a reminder to all you guys out there too who's watching this video, that if you have something that you want to do, if you know that you're destined for some purpose, whether it be big or small, whatever it is, because big and small is all relative, but no matter what it is, if you know that you're destined for something, know that you can do it. You don't have to have it all figured out, step-by-step plan and everything. Nah. All you got to do is just see it, listen to your intuition, because it will guide you. Because along the way, taking these little steps, for example, taking this step, this is me trusting my intuition. This is the divine feminine. And then later on, uploading the video, figuring out how I want to format it and everything, how I want to edit it. That's more the masculine stuff. So there's, divine balance within everything. But again, learning how to work with that balance, how to find that balance within yourself is what's key, what's very important. So this is me actively doing that right now. I'm sitting by the water. Not sitting, but I'm standing by the water. It's extremely beautiful. And this is just, a reminder to me to stay the course, trust the flow. Stay the course, trust the flow. That's all it really is for me right now. Stay the course and trust the flow. So I think I'm gonna end it up there. And yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. It feels like this is something that's really healthy for me, very, very beneficial for me. Not only just for myself, but of course, I'm doing it for everyone else as well. Everyone who this aligns with and resonates with. So I send you out much love, gratitude, much love and respect to you. I love you. And yeah, see you in the next one.